What's good, everybody? My name's Roro.
My name's Jude.
And together we're Young, Dumb, and Dating. So for this episode, it's titled, Where Is This Going? I know a lot of us have timelines, and your partner doesn't seem to...
may not consider your timeline or be on the same page as your timeline or have a different timeline.
So we're going to touch on major milestones in a relationship, what our timeline looks like, and maybe help you guys to be more confident with communicating with your partner what your idea of your timeline is.
Yeah, basically trying to match up your guys' timelines. If she has a different timeline than me and I have a different timeline than her, trying to find a common timeline where we could both get what we want. So when are things getting serious? I feel like guys different from girls with this. Oh, yes. How many years does someone have to date for things to get serious? And then I'll give you my answer.
See, to me, that doesn't even exist because there's people who fall in love in 3 months. Is it the most appropriate?
How long does someone have to date someone for things to be serious, in your opinion?
I think a year or more.
I say the same thing, about a year or more. I think after a year, that's when you kind of okay, this wasn't just some fling. I don't know many people who have year-long flings.
And it depends on how often they see each other, how often they talk. Because you could be dating for a year, but it's you never see each other. You hardly text each other.
Okay, how about this? When you say dating, do you mean in a relationship for a year?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, if you're in a relationship for a year, I think you guys are already
Yeah. If you're not in a relationship, and let's say you were best friends before that, then that changes the whole thing up.
What do you mean?
Some people fall in love with their best friend. They weren't in a relationship.
Oh, I get it.
But it's
they
spent a lot of time together.
Yeah. That changes things. Yeah, you're right. I get it. So it really does depend. But forget that. The friendship gets cut out. You just know that person as a friend. But as far as dating, intimacy, blah, 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 year. So we agree on that. Now, years before engagement, how many years do you think someone probably, in your opinion, how long would you date someone to be sure about being engaged to them?
I want to say 6 years.
I say the same thing actually, 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
No, nothing more than that. I think past that, it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
You're not gonna waste another 6 years, so either you're all in or you're not all in.
There's couples who have been together for let's say 10 years.
Yeah.
And the guy never proposes.
And
what do you think in that? Why isn't he is he not ready? Is he not? And then the fucked up thing is that sometimes they'll find someone else and then propose. Wasn't there a story about that?
There was. So I think that guy was already messing around with the second girl that he married, because you're not going to just marry someone that you just met. So I think that's a little different. Yeah, I think it's just a conversation that needs to be had, because if you're still trying to guess why he isn't trying to propose to you, I think you should just ask him. Ask him, where is this going? Because instead of trying to guessing is not going to help you.
Do you think it'll put too much pressure in them and then they'll back out if the girl keeps insisting? Where's my ring?
But that's not your concern. Your concern is, where is this going? So don't pose it as a question, are we getting married this year or next year? Pose it as, where is this going? What does your timeline look like? It's all about comparing timelines, because if he's with you, ask him, do you intend to potentially marry me or engage me? If he doesn't know yet, then that's your answer. If he does know, ask him, what does your timeline look for that? It's all about communication, guys. It's all about communication. So marriage, when is a good time to get married? Age-wise, love-wise, financially-wise?
I used to think when I was younger, 28, be engaged, 29, be married, and then by 30 have kids. I didn't know before then that girls have literally a timeline. Your clock is ticking, and you're considered high risk at what, 32?
You're considered high risk after 35, I believe.
35.
Yeah. So
now my whole timeline changed. So I think married by 25 or 26. No, 26.
Married by 25. So
engaged by 25.
Why is it getting younger for you?
Because I want to have a big family. I also I've prepared myself a lot, maturity wise. I'm financially stable. I've done a lot for myself.
Yeah.
Where I think bringing being with someone like married like wouldn't back me out, like wouldn't set me back in a lot of the things that I had. So I think I prepared myself a lot
Now,
as a person.
now let's say we weren't together. Would that timeline still exist?
No, then it will go away because I have to meet someone again.
So
and,
did
like,
you create
build
that timeline once you got in a relationship, or was that younger? So you started
no,
off.
because I had it. I think had that timeline in college, and then I always just assumed I'd be with someone
By that time?
by my
Yeah.
age right now.
Yeah.
And I'd be already forming some type of like long-term relationship.
Yeah.
So since I've been with you, it's kind of like reassured that like you've been in a long-term relationship, so that timeline stayed the same.
I get that. My timeline probably was your original one. Get married at 20, or no, not even 28. I would say anything after probably 26. Get engaged around after 26. Get married around that 27, 28, and then kids after that. My thing is this. You could be 26 and still not be ready, though. I think you should talk about it with your partner and, like, are we ready for this? Because what happens if we're 27 and we're ready? Or let's say we're 24 and we're ready. Like, I feel like it's just about feelings.
And that's what I said.
Because I don't make feelings based off of how old I am. I make feelings based off, like, what situation are we in? Have we put in enough time? Then age comes in.
But that's what I said. Everyone has their own timelines.
Yeah.
So as far as like a generic timeline, like there doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because some people feel ready to be married off in like 2 years.
That's true. But does that mean they should be getting married? I think
It
there's a
works
different.
for them. If it works for them, it works for them. Like, why are you wasting time? Especially when you get older.
Do you think people get married when they shouldn't have gotten married?
Of course, it happens all the time.
That's why I made my point.
Some people have been together for the appropriate time.
I'm not putting them down.
It still doesn't work out.
I'm not putting them down. What I'm saying is a lot of people feel like they're ready to get married, but that doesn't mean they should be getting married.
I think it's just the pressure, and especially nowadays, when you see stuff like the Ace family, you see like.
Are they married or are they engaged?
Well, no, they're married now.
Oh.
I think they're married now.
All right. But they're older though.
Yes. I think you just see this, or like celebrities, even like this fantasy that you want to now live.
It's not even just celebrities. I think every girl fantasizes about being swept off her feet, getting married, and having a family.
Yes.
And I guess celebrities make it worse.
The freedom.
The freedom
of like just doing whatever you want. But that's not what happens. What ends up happening.
The point is, have the conversation, mention each other's timelines, and then find a common ground, and then see if you guys are kind of like within the same range. If you want to be married by 26, but I want to be married by 28, does that mean we should break up? Probably not, because you're within a 2-year difference. Because if you truly want to be with that person, I think waiting a year or two is not going to be a deal breaker, because it's like you're going to be able to do the same thing at 26 that you want to do at 28. You're just 2 years older.
And some people don't care. Like they're just like, it's just a title. Because getting married, like obviously it's a blessing, and like you're tied to that person.
Yeah.
But honestly, like you said, if we wait 26 or at 28, like we're still together. We're still spending time together.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing the same exact things that we're doing now.
Exactly.
And the title is just gonna change that.
Now, moving on to kids, you have people out there who don't want kids, and
you have people like me who want 10.
And you have people like Roro who want 10. I realistically do want kids. I do want a few kids, not just one. Boy, girl, doesn't really matter. How about you, Roro? Other than, be realistic though. Like, what's your...
I think okay, so I always thought I will have 5.
Okay.
In especially,
in
starting
high
in
school.
high school.
How about now? How do you feel now? Don't say how I felt in high school.
I just want a big family.
That's
like,
okay,
really
yeah.
do.
I want a big family too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are a lot of complications that do go into having kids. One,
yeah.
Not every pregnancy is going to be successful, and that takes time away, because if you waited 6 months or if you waited 8 months and it didn't go the way you wanted, it is sad, but that is the reality of the matter. I think financially too, if you guys are pretty tight when it comes to handling 3 to 4 kids, that's 3 to 4 different schools, that's 3 to 4 different, mouths to feed. that's when things start to come into place where it's like, okay, can we afford to have another child? Everyone wants to have a lot of kids. Well, not everyone. We do. But can we afford to have another kid? I think those conversations need to be had even before you have kids, because you don't want to wait till you have kids to have those serious conversations about having kids.
Yes.
In my opinion. So that's another timeline thing. So what else is on the timeline?
Oh, yeah. When would you want to have kids? Like, what age?
Oh, that's a good question.
Were you going to say 40?
No, I just made a noise.
You were like,
How does that make? I went like this. If I want to have 4 to 5 kids and I don't want to be an old dad, like I want to be, when I'm 55, I don't want to be raising a 12-year-old. When I'm 55, I probably want to have all my kids be pretty much adults. So probably late 20s all the way up to my late 30s.
Late 30s. Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, no, yeah, late 30s. Yeah, because
yeah,
because if I have a kid at 37, by the time I'm 59, you know, he'll already be an adult. He'll be in his 20s.
Yeah.
Did I do my math right?
I don't know.
I think I did. Yeah. Because 37 plus 22, if you have a 22-year-old,
Okay,
you'll be
doesn't
59.
matter.
Okay, but that's my point. I'm spitting a lot. How you? You.
First kid, 28, 29.
That's a good age.
Yeah.
Also, something that considers your career. When you have a career and you're trying to grow it, having a kid can make things slow down. It's definitely not going to speed it up, you know. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing for your career, but kids do need time and they do need nurture. And then when you're giving them more time, that's less time to give to other things like a business or your career. So I think that's another conversation.
And I think it's more difficult for me because I actually want to start my business. It's not like I'm going to be working at the same company for a few years. Like, I'm not always going to be in that established position because it's always a risk running a business. Yeah. So I think that would be my big issue, like running one and then being there for my kid.
But you could also get to the point where as you get older and then as you've put in the work towards your career or business, you don't have to log many hours.
Like be there as often. Yeah. Then people will be working for you.
Once you have a team of people under you and you've already put in a lot of work in your early 20s, mid 20s, like you've already built yourself up. As you get older, you could take more time to yourself because you've already put things in place earlier versus later.
But that takes time.
That does take time. But since that takes time, that's when kids have to be kind of put on the back burner. No. Yes. Make sure you're good before you could take care. No, make sure you're good before you could take care of someone else to make them good. That's what I say. So, moral of the story is communication. Talk about your timelines. Mention things like kids, marriage, and engagement, and when you want that to happen to yourself. And then just find a common range with your partner. And things shouldn't be deal breakers. You shouldn't find out about something and be like, okay, I'm not being with this person, especially if you have a lot of years within the relationship in already. Talk about it.
What if they
are you willing to change your mind?
What if they don't respect that though? Like, what if I were to tell you, you know, I want to get married by this age, and you're like, no, I'm waiting by I want to get engaged at 40.
That's not. Are they okay? Are they saying their timeline, or are they not respecting?
They're saying I don't want to.
Then you probably shouldn't. Then if you guys can't cooperate or find a common ground, then that's when you should probably consider finding someone else who is willing to cooperate and find a common ground. Because why would you want to be with someone that doesn't respect your timeline? That means they don't respect you. That's how I see it. Anyways.
Deep stuff.
That's it, guys. Follow us at YoungDumbAndDating_ on Instagram, Young with the U. We are on Apple Podcast and SoundCloud. Follow us at YoungDumbAndDating. Check out Question of the Day on our Instagram stories at YoungDumbDating_ with the U. And subscribe to our channel, of course, and keep watching out for those episodes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.